Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Drunk Video Game History. Tonight I'm going to start off the show the same way I start off every show, and I'm going to teach you guys how to make a cocktail. Again, I have for you guys something I'm really excited about. It's a specially curated cocktail that I came up with just for you guys out there. Tonight we're doing Kingdom Hearts 3, and I thought what would be the best possible Kingdom Hearts 3 inspired cocktail I could come up with. What's the best moment of Kingdom Hearts 3? I think you and I can both agree. It's Zeta Flare. So that's our drink tonight. It's the Zeta Flare. Let's talk about how to make that. It's pretty darn simple at first. We're going to start off with about 2 ounces of our Godiva white chocolate liqueur. And then on top of that, we're going to float about 1 ounce of cinnamon schnapps. Now, this is kind of delicate. It helps if you tilt the glass quite a bit. So you're just pouring right down the edge of the glass. It's not that difficult for this mixture though, because the cinnamon schnapps is a lot less dense than the white chocolate liqueur. Now, what's the best thing about the Zeta Flare? It is a powerful spell. So already, this is 100 proof cinnamon schnapps. That's what it takes. But we're going to give it a little kick. And then, if you're doing this for a party or something, let's say you're having people over and you want to show off your mixology skills that you learned on Drunk Video Game History, grab a little bit of ground cinnamon, give it a little shake in there. So thanks again for joining me over here by the fire. Tonight we're doing Kingdom Hearts 3 and I'm really excited. This is the end of the Dark Seeker Saga. We're all been ready for this. This is the game we've waited for several years for since Dream Drop Distance. And yeah, the entire community built up this game a lot. Kingdom Hearts 3 is like the Avengers Endgame of the Kingdom Hearts series. With the exception that there hasn't been like a Spider-Man and an Iron Man and a Captain America game. The focus has only been on Sora. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I mean, I for one would really enjoy a Riku game, but I would also really enjoy a Black Widow movie, and I'm not holding my breath for either one of those things to happen anytime soon. So before we get into it, I want to say that this game, like I said, really anticipated. I was really looking forward to it, and it's great. I highly recommend every game from Kingdom Hearts that you guys play. In the future, I have no doubt that I will talk about some games that are not good, but I highly, highly recommend all the Kingdom Hearts games that you guys really enjoy. This game is baby easy though. Play it on Proud, but even on Proud, it's super easy. The new features aren't really plot related. I mean, there's attraction flow and shot lock and stuff like that just make the game super easy, even on Proud. Playing through, I think I had 3 deaths. The very first fight in Olympus Coliseum, I just completely fumbled and failed and a Heartless hit me and I died. I was talking to my kids when I was playing and it was an old man moment. There was one other time I died during the game and I honestly can't remember what it was. I just know that when I got to the Xehanort fight at the end, which we'll talk about, there's a part where he forces you into anti-form, and I hadn't really had to do anti-form much, so I didn't really understand how it worked, and I ended up dropping my health to 10% or so, and I died there. The second time I played that part, I realized what was happening. I didn't drop my health to 10%, and I went on and it was fine. And that's it. People complained about the underwater section of the boss battle, but I didn't have any problems just smashing right through that part. This game starts with Xehanort meeting with Yensid. It pretty much picks up exactly where Dream Drop Distance left off. Sora's been Metroided again, of course, because he was nearly taken over by Xehanort at the end of Dream Drop Distance. So Yensid's talking to him and he's like, hey, we need 7 pure lights. They can be Keyblade welders, which is absolutely a retcon. That wasn't what it was in the last games, but that's what it is in this game. And he's going to have 13 evil beings that are going to be his pieces of darkness. Don't worry, most of them are going to be him. Sora says, hey, I know this guy, and this is a callback to Dream Drop Distance. He kind of says, I know this guy who's gone through the similar experience who can help us out. And this, he says a very similar thing. Hey, I know this guy, he can go help. He's had to build himself up. I'll go talk to him. So you go to the first world. The first world is Olympus Coliseum. So again, just like in all my previous videos, I'm not going to go through the plots of the Disney worlds. I feel like these videos would be an hour and a half long if I did that. And I appreciate you guys staying with me for these, but I can't imagine how many viewers I would have if I spent an hour and a half retelling the tales of all of the Disney worlds, especially because a lot of the games retell exactly the same Disney plots from the previous games. Not going to do that to you guys. In Olympus Coliseum, Sora goes to Hercules, though. You play through the encounter, Sora goes to Hercules, and Hercules is like, hey dude, I can't help you. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. So Sora goes out and is looking for the power of waking, and it's really unclear what this is, what exactly the power of waking is. He goes out in search of it. He goes to several Disney worlds. Some of them, it's great. Like, some of them, it's the plots are very tied into the Kingdom Hearts world. I would argue that those are the best worlds for Kingdom Hearts 3. Toy Story. The organization members are pursuing them, and they learn that hearts can be put into non-living beings. That like pretty much anything can have a heart. That's a huge revelation for the organization. Monstropolis. They learn that screams can be harnessed, and so dark emotions, fear, etc., can be harnessed as power. That's great. That's a really big thing for the organization to learn. In Sanford, Tokyo, they kind of call back to that anything can have a heart because Baymax gets a heart. So yeah, a whole bunch of really good plot development happens in these. In like Arendelle and Corona, there's not a lot of changes to the movies, so not a lot of plot development happens in those Disney worlds. One thing that's true about the story in this game, though, is the pacing is really poorly done. The middle part tends to drag a bit, which unfortunately makes the ending drag. I heard somebody on a podcast the other day say that it would have worked a lot better if a lot of the ending stuff was put into the middle of the game. And every game before that, it's weird, every game before this, you had kind of a middle section, and then you went out and did more stuff. Now in Kingdom Hearts 2, you visited all of the Disney worlds, and then you had the middle section, and then you went out and visited all the Disney worlds again. People felt like that was kind of plotting, and I understand why people would have that opinion, but Kingdom Hearts 1 worked really well. Even Dream Drop Distance, there's kind of that middle section where you go back and you have a battle with Riku. So I'm not sure why this game really is just all of the Disney worlds, which are great. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with them. But then once you get to the Keyblade Graveyard, the game just keeps going. And for a lot of people, they said that the middle drug out. For me, the ending drug out. I enjoyed playing the game. I really did enjoy playing the game. I felt like there were too many movies towards the end of the game. But in this video, we're there now. And for the rest of the video, it's basically going to be me talking about the end game, which is kind of sad that I've already gotten through the middle. Mickey and Riku get to the World of Darkness, and Aqua says, you're too late. That's where that ad comes from, where Aqua has yellow eyes. She's like, you're too late. They fight, and Aqua is basically winning, and then Sora shows up. And Sora absolutely just dominates her and wins that fight easily, because you win every fight easily in this game. Handily beats Master Aqua, and he uses the power of friendship to bring her back, because he has Ventus's heart inside of her, remember. So Ventus's heart calls out to her, she comes back from the darkness, and she's like, oh, we have to go rescue Ventus. I hid his body back in Castle Oblivion, which is the land of departure. So you run over there, you save Ventus. When you're saving Ventus, Vanitas shows up. While they're fighting, it looks like Vanitas is gonna beat Aqua. That gives Ventus what he needs for him to like pull himself together. He attacks Vanitas, and he easily defeats Vanitas. Vanitas runs off. And then the whole crew runs off to the Keyblade Graveyard. So as soon as you get to the Keyblade Graveyard, Terra Xehanort confronts you. Terra Xehanort is just able to beat everyone. Lee attacks him, and Terra Xehanort just swats him away as if he nothing. He's like, what is this with Lee's Keyblade? Is this a Keyblade? And he just smashes it away. It's like a joke. He's just mowing them down like grass. So Donald casts Zeta Flare. And I'm going to take a moment from talking about the plot to talk about Zeta Flare. Now, there's a little bit of timey-wimey stuff maybe going on here. So in our timeline, Donald did not cast Zeta Flare, so that's important to know. But Donald in the game casts Zeta Flare, and then everyone dies because even though you win that fight, and Sora has to save everybody, but it kind of rewinds time to before that happens, and so Donald does not cast Zeta Flare. Final Fantasy has this naming convention when it comes to spells. Flare is, in general, the most powerful black magic spell in all of Final Fantasy games. Like Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, etc. Flare will always be the most powerful spell. It's generally a non-elemental spell, but not always. Sometimes it does fire damage. Then there's going to be Mega Flare. Mega Flare is a significant damage increase from Flare. The party can't ever cast it directly. It's almost always castable by a summon. Usually it's Bahamut. From there, you get up to Giga Flare. Giga Flare is a rare spell in Final Fantasy. Only a few games have it, and it's the upgraded version of Bahamut that can cast it, like Bahamut Prime. Then we get Terra Flare. Terra Flare is an order of magnitude more powerful than Giga Flare. There's only been like 2 or 3 times when Terra Flare has been in Final Fantasy games, and Bahamut Zero, who is an upgraded Bahamut Prime, can cast it. So there's other spells that have Zeta versions, but Flare does not in Final Fantasy game, not in any Square game. So each time you go up, they become an order of magnitude more powerful. So from normal to Mega to Giga to Terra, and then to Zeta. I'm just gonna throw this out here. Zeta Flare is far and away the most powerful spell to ever be featured in a Square Enix game. Hands down, by name only. And it just obliterates Terra Xehanort, like vapor atomizes him. He's gone. But it wipes out Donald. Like he's just uses all his MP probably and some of his health points. And he's just laid out on the ground. Goofy's trying to help him. So this cloud of Heartless attacks them. It's the same enemy that you fought several times before throughout the game. It attacks them. Riku and Sora are the only 2 people who are left, and they're not strong enough to defeat it. And it ends up killing all of them. Sora wakes up and he's in the final world. And the final world is like Kingdom Hearts Purgatory. And unfortunately, the gameplay world is also like Kingdom Hearts Purgatory. It really breaks up the flow. It's not fun. You run around and you pick up pieces of yourself for this obscene amount of time. And it's a weird part. You go talk to this mysterious female and she tells you that she's going to get Terra's Keyblade armor to come and help you in the battle. And then you get a redo on the battle. And you don't get to control the battle, which is kind of good and bad, right? Because if you got to control the battle, then you would do the battle and then you would lose no matter what you do. Like if you win the battle, you would lose. If not getting to control the battle means you don't have to have that narrative device shoved at you. Then the exact same thing happens again, except Terra's Keyblade armor shows up and fights Terra Xehanort and neutralizes the threat that way, which is fantastic. It's sublime. It works really well narratively. And you have this 10,000 Heartless battle, which is a really fun battle. You get to summon the roller coaster from the Olympus world at the very beginning of the game. It's a nice bookend to the game, and the game kind of continues on from there. Good, well-paced encounter from that point. Yen-Sid shows up. Mickey's about to cast Stop, and Riku tells him not to because it'll drain him too much. And then Yen-Sid shows up and makes a path for everybody to go down. And then you go down, you fight the Organization 13 battle, you fight the Organization 13 members. The problem here is Kingdom Hearts 2, the Organization data battles really spoiled us because every one of those fights is so good. I mean, I know that people complain about Larxene and stuff, and I get it, and some of them are gimmicky. Marluxia's battle's super gimmicky, but they're such good fights. These just really aren't. They're not one-on-one. It's you with several allies fighting several enemies at the same time. They're not different. They're not great experiences from a gameplay point of view. They're boss battles, but they're not even memorable. I honestly couldn't tell you who was with who for any of the battles. They're not memorable. And it doesn't matter narratively anyway. So you get up to Xehanort, he's gonna form Kingdom Hearts, he gets Kairi, he cuts Kairi down, so he can finally have enough pieces of light to make Kingdom Hearts. As he does this, Mickey, Donald, and Sora manipulate his time travel powers in order to go back to confront him in his original world, whatever that was. So he's there. There's several copies of himself due to time travel. Again, some more easy fights. There's an underwater section, like I said, that people complain about online. I didn't have any problems with it. I thought it was a pretty easy fight. You get to the end. You beat him. Master Ericus shows up, and there's an interesting exchange where Master Xehanort, he kind of contradicts what he says in Birth by Sleep. He says that his objective was to remake the world to eliminate the darkness. Remember, in Birth by Sleep, he said you can't destroy the darkness, you can only control it. So I think this would count as a retcon. He really is going back on his former philosophy completely. I know he says this was always his plan, but it really doesn't feel like this was always his plan. It really feels like they're trying to redeem him at the very end. He and Master Ericus kind of wander off. It's definitely a surrender. And you win, that's the end of the game. But Kairi's gone, so off screen, Sora goes to rescue Kairi. Using the power of waking, Mickey tells him it can be abused. In the ending movie, Sora kind of disappears ostensibly because he's used the power of waking too much. Then there's this other ending movie, there's this like after credit scene where Xigbar is there. It has to do with Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. I have no idea what's going on in it because I don't know what goes on in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. I'm not going to do a drunk video game history for Kingdom Hearts Union Cross because that's a mobile game and I'm really not into mobile games. I may bring a guest on sometime to do Kingdom Hearts Union Cross drunk video game history if I can ever find somebody who actually plays that game. And I'd love to. If you're a person who actually plays Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, leave your name in the comments below and your contact information. And if you are anywhere near me, I will go to your location. We will film. I will do all the editing and everything, and it'll be fantastic. We'll have a great time. It'll be great. I would love to have you on the show. And then there's a secret movie. If you collect enough Mickey emblems, then there's a secret movie where, and now I'm trying to get this trending, I call it Shiksubuya. So it's like Shibuya, but there's the X in it, like all of the Organization 13 members. That's where Sora is. He's in Shiksubuya. I also like the way Shiksubuya sounds. I just think it's hilarious. Shiksubuya. You guys should say it right now. Say Shiksubuya out loud and tell me it doesn't work. Sora wakes up, he's in Shiksubuya. Riku wakes up, he's also probably in Shiksubuya. I don't know. I don't know my Japanese geography very well. He's somewhere in Tokyo though. They both wake up in Tokyo and the Master of Masters is there. I only know of that again because I listened to a podcast. I don't know who the Master of Masters really is. I watched the stuff, even pretend to get what the back cover. Anything that happens before Birth by Sleep is not something that I'm going to cover. So that is it. This is my last Kingdom Hearts video. So I want you guys to tell me, what do you think? Please leave a comment down below. Leave me a like, it really helps out the channel. Next, we're going to do Final Fantasy. I'm going to start with Final Fantasy 1. I'm going to start a Let's Play series with my daughter. I think we're going to start with Persona. I think we're going to start with Persona 5. I'm really looking forward to it. We just got a green screen in so we can get that started. And so the first episode of those should be up fairly quickly. I turned 40 today. It's my birthday. This won't go up on my birthday, but when I'm filming, it's my birthday. So I'm really excited for my birthday. My dad is kind of a handyman, and we are going to build an arcade cabinet. I'm going to do my best to video that, have kind of a vlog of how to build an arcade cabinet on my channel too. So look out for those projects coming. The vlog for how to build the arcade cabinet will be a little slower, but yeah, look for all those things coming in the future. Leave me a comment for the next video game series you'd like to see after Final Fantasy. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Let me know if you try the Zeta Flare. It's super exciting. I ended up putting it over ice. I mean, it's great. I just don't really enjoy drinking hot drinks. But let me know if you try it. Tell me you're a hero at a party, please. That's what I want to hear. Catch you guys next time.